Did you know that before 2050, humans might finally master a nearly infinite source of energy, and we may never need to burn a single drop of oil again? Or that within this very decade, we could see the first artificial intelligence that no one can distinguish from a real human? Sounds like science fiction, right? But all of this is much closer than you think. Today, you're going to discover the technologies that will change everything by 2050. Get ready, because the world you know is about to disappear. Today, we're going on a journey into the future, but not some distant, far-off future. We're talking about things that are already happening right now, and that, in the coming years, will completely transform our lives, our work, and even our bodies. So go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into what's coming next. Let's start with one of humanity's most anticipated technologies, nuclear fusion. Do you know what that is? Basically, it's the same process that happens inside the sun. Two atoms fuse and release an absurd amount of energy, but without the toxic waste or the risk of nuclear disasters like Chernobyl or Fukushima. The most impressive part? There are already massive projects underway, like ITER in France, one of the largest scientific experiments in history. According to scientists, by 2040, nuclear fusion could become commercially viable. And that means we could have a virtually unlimited, clean, and cheap source of energy. Just imagine a world without energy crises, without oil, without coal. Are we ready for that? Now, if you already think AI is impressive today, with tools like ChatGPT and others, brace yourself. By 2050, artificial intelligence might far exceed human reasoning abilities. Scientists call this super intelligent AI, an AI capable of improving itself, learning at a speed no human could ever match. It sounds crazy, but many experts say this could happen before 2050. Even Elon Musk has warned that AI could be more dangerous than nuclear weapons, if not properly controlled. So, what will it be like to live in a world where you might not even know if you're talking to a human or to a machine? Now, let's talk about something that will literally change who we are. Bioengineering is advancing by leaps and bounds. By 2050, it will likely be possible to edit our genes to prevent hereditary diseases, increase life expectancy, and even enhance physical and intellectual traits. Have you heard of CRISPR technology? It's like genetic scissors that allow scientists to cut and modify DNA with incredible precision. But it doesn't stop there. Scientists have already created artificial organs in laboratories. Hearts, kidneys, even lungs, 3D printed biological organs. Just imagine the impact: faster transplants, no more waiting lists, and maybe even the possibility to create body parts on demand. Would you accept having a 3D printed organ inside your body? Another technology we're already changing the world: autonomous vehicles. Companies like Tesla, Waymo, and even Uber are investing billions in cars that drive themselves. And believe it or not, by 2030 or 2040, these vehicles will likely be common on the streets. But that's not all. Flying cars are also emerging. There are already working prototypes being tested in Japan, the United States, and Europe. The startup Joby Aviation, for example, is developing electric air taxis. The forecast is that they could start commercial operations within the 2030s. So, will the traffic of the future be in the skies? Can you imagine spending most of your life in, say, a virtual world? By 2050, experts say that virtual reality and augmented reality will be so advanced that it'll be hard to tell what's real and what's simulated. Companies like Meta, formerly Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft, are heavily investing in this. In the future, you could work, study, have fun, and even maintain relationships inside the metaverse. And check this out. A report by a consulting firm, McKinsey, estimates that the metaverse market could generate up to $5 trillion by 2030. So, will we soon prefer living in digital worlds over the real one? We've already mentioned organs, but 3D printing goes way beyond that. Today, we can already print prosthetics, airplane parts, and even food. Yes, food. Companies like Redefine Meat are creating plant-based meats printed in 3D with texture, flavor, and appearance almost identical to real meat. But here's the most impressive part. There are already projects to print entire houses using 3D printers, like in Austin, Texas. In 2023, They built the first entire community of 3D printed homes. Just imagine a future where you buy a house and it's assembled like a Lego set in just a few days. And of course, we can't forget about space exploration. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and even NASA are accelerating missions to Mars, the Moon, and even asteroids. SpaceX plans to carry out the first crewed mission to Mars by 2030.
Liftoff
who knows,
of the
maybe
Delta
start
rocket
establishing
carrying
a permanent
blast.
colony by
Gamma ray
2050.
telescope searching
Meanwhile,
for
this
stars
program,
of the galaxy.
which will once again land humans on the moon, including the first woman and the first person of color, by 2030. So, would you be willing to live on another planet? Finally, but just as important, the way we produce food is about to radically change by 2050. The UN predicts that by then, the world population will be almost 10 billion people. How can we feed so many? The answer lies in vertical farming, with skyscraper farms using hydroponics and artificial lighting, and also in the production of lab-grown meat without the need to slaughter animals. In 2020, for example, Singapore became the first country in the world to approve the sale of cultivated meat. So, will eating a lab-grown burger soon be more common than going to a butcher? See, the future is knocking at our door, and it might be much stranger, more surprising, and more incredible than any science fiction movie. But are we really ready for all these changes? Tell us in the comments, which of these technologies do you think will transform our lives the most? And which one scares you the most? If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any